I just quit my six-figure corporate job, and here's why. Hello everyone, my name is Tommy Daniels if you're seeing me for the first time, and for those of you that are returning, welcome back. I film about faith, I film about travel, I film about property, I film about relationships, I film about lifestyle, I film about everything, so there's definitely something for you here. Okay, so let's get to the reason why you clicked on this video, why I quit my corporate job. So for context, I've been working as a finance director in a company. It was it was kind of like a startup when I joined, and it's grown rapidly. In the time that I'd been there, I've actually worked in the same place for 11 years, and the company is now valued for 1 billion. So it was it's a company that was doing really, really well. In case I'm looking down, I've got some notes here just so I don't ramble on in this video. So as you can imagine, working in the same place for 11 years, earning six figures in pounds, it was definitely a big decision. So this wasn't a decision that I made lightly at all. So the question is, why did I leave? I left because I was tired. On paper, it was perfect. As I said, pay was great, CEO great. But I was tired. I was tired of essentially having someone else in control of my time. I was tired of having to sort of plan my holidays around company calendar or work calendar. Again, if you work in finance, they're at different points, there are busier periods, of the month, and then not obviously, but because again we started traveling quite a lot more, and that was something I had become interested in. I just didn't like the fact that I just couldn't up and go, if I needed to, having to seek permission, as anyone would, if you're working for someone. So essentially I was tired of not being in control of my time. I was tired of kind of doing the same thing, of just kind of feeling like a little stuck in the place. But it was a big decision. But there was the moment that really changed, as I said, not as I said, I'd been tired for a long time. But the moment that really changed everything was when I took a sabbatical for a year. So actually between towards the end of 2024 into 2025, I was off work, and majority of that time was unpaid. And the major thing that had been holding me back was the pay, because again, I was earning really well. And so I was kind of always thinking how would I be able to survive, without the pay, or and still maintain the same lifestyle, because I didn't want to compromise on the lifestyle. As I said, we love to travel. By we, I mean my husband and I. We love to travel. We love to travel in style. So I'm not a budget traveler by any means. So I didn't want to compromise on the lifestyle. So it was just thinking how would we be able to survive. So at the moment when I took the sabbatical for a year, and at probably 80% of that time, it was unpaid, it was an unpaid sabbatical, that was when I knew I could survive without the salary. I could do this. And so that was kind of what changed everything for me. Again, I'm just looking down as my notes. As I said, this was not a decision that I made lightly at all. Actually, as a matter of fact, I had been tired since 2020, I think. So 2020 was such an intense year. It was a year when the company was raising finance, and that was the first time when I'd been there and there was raising finance. This was Series E. Again, if you're not in finance, apologies, but Series E is basically the fifth round of funding. So this was something that they'd done quite a lot, but this was the first time I was going to be involved in it. And at the time it was a really small finance team, and pretty much it was on my shoulders, majority of it, or a big part of it. And so I remember in 2020, that was COVID, was lockdown, so we're home, working from home 100% of the time. However, the hours were ridiculous. When I mean ridiculous, I mean I would sleep at 4:30 a.m. working. I would be up again at 9, joining in a meeting again, and just working long hours, weekends, Saturdays, Sundays, working again, because it was such a big deal. You were trying doing the due diligence and trying to close on this Series E or this funding, and it closed. And I think at that point, I actually also had a major life event happen, and I kind of had to sort of power through that as well. And all of that, just, I was tired. So from 2020, I'd been tired, possibly even before then, but I remember vividly, at least from 2020, I'd become tired. So as I said, to go from 2020 all the way to 2025 and even into like the beginning of this year, and knowing that you've been tired. So it wasn't something that I just, made. It wasn't a decision I just, stood up and made, like, without thinking about it. It was something that I thought through, were planned, made a lot of plans around it. So that's why I left, essentially, because I was tired. So what would I be doing now? Or the question is, what am I already doing? So if you don't know, as I said already at the beginning of this video, I film about property. So what I will be doing now is I film about property. Shay is my husband, and we work in property. He's actually been full-time in property for like 5 years now. So now both of us are going to be doing it full-time. So we're going to be doing it bigger. We're doing the trainings, we've been doing the trainings all along, but again, everything we're doing, but we're going to ramp it up a lot more, buying more, doing more developments, looking to get into like bigger developments, flat conversions, and things like that. At the moment, we predominantly do like buy rundown properties, turn them into like houses of like shared occupancy predominantly, or like single lets as well, or company lets as well. So we're going to be doing a lot more, a lot more property content, a lot more trainings. I actually realized that I actually love the trainings as well. So if you're ever interested in, signing up for a training, or you want to get into property investment, property development, just leave a comment in the comment section, or just let me know in the comment section, or use the email. My email is always in the description box, and send a message and we'll get back to you. So we're going to do a lot more property. I'm also going to be doing a lot more content creation. If you don't know it, if you hadn't noticed, I hope you have, but I've been, more consistent on YouTube, like since we got back from our travels last month in February. So we traveled across Asia. So since we got back, I've been a lot more consistent, and I will continue to be consistent. But in addition to that, I'm also now, trying to put myself out there more, like on Instagram, TikTok. Still, like, I've not gotten the hang of it yet, but I'm just, continuing to do a lot more content. My plan and my desire and my prayer is that content creation also becomes like a source of income for me very, very soon. So that is my plan. I plan to putting out a lot more content. So if there are things that you want me to film more about, or parts of my life that you want to see more of, or maybe areas, whatever it is that you want to see, let me know in the comment section, and I will see if that's something that I can do. Also, we're going to be traveling more. As I said, we love to travel. It was one of the things that was getting in the way when I had a job, even though like I kind of found my way around it. As of today, I've been to 38 countries. Shay has also been to 38 countries. So it's nice. So we're going to be doing a lot more travel by God's grace. We're also going to be working on other business ideas outside of property. And there's one in particular that I'm already looking into. And also, excitingly, I'm also writing a book. This is something that has just recently happened. But I'm honestly... I'm so excited for this book to come out. It's amazing. Like, I'm not telling you what it's about yet, but I'm writing a book. I'm excited about it, and I know it's going to be such a blessing to you when you read it. And I say when, because you will read it, right? You will buy it, you will read it. But actually, beyond the buying, I'm just so excited for the book. So it's also something I'm going to be writing. It's one book for now, but who knows? So you can start to put author next to my name. But also, beyond all of this, I'm also continuing to serve in my local church, where I'm working, like in terms of working with youth. I actually lead the youth in my church. I also serve as a pastor, for those that don't know. So I'm also a pastor. So just giving more time to the service of God generally, any way and any how that I can. So those are the things that I'm going to be doing. And finally, as I bring this video to a close, just some advice for those of you that may be planning to leave. Number one is plan your exit. As I said, this is something that has been long overdue, but I planned it, right? I, did things that I wanted to do, plan it. Don't just up and leave as much as it's within your control. Number two, build multiple streams of income. Again, because we had the property income, it was something that we had to go to, or to fall back, not fall back on, to sort of pivot to, and go into full time. So build multiple streams of income. Even within property, we have like multiple streams. So do that. Number three, save money as much as you can. Save as much as you can, regardless of whatever plan it is. If you're starting a new business, whatever, just try to save as much as you can whilst you're still at your current job. And number four, as much as you can, once again, test your idea first. So if you have like a new business idea, you have a new venture that you want to go into, test it, see if you can test it before you go into it full time, whilst you still have the buffer of that steady income from your 9 to 5. So yes, I hope this video has been helpful for you. As I said, I look forward to, let me know what you think about my reason for quitting. Are you in the same position, and did you quit at any point? What was your reason for it? Do you regret your decision? Hopefully not, but yeah, let me know. And also please let me know things that you want me to film about now that I'm doing content creation. I don't want to say full-time because there's a lot of things that I might, but yeah, let's say now that I'm doing content creation more consistently. All right, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tommy Daniels. Goodbye.